I did it. I got my lives to start at exactly the same time, or at least according to the technology that's in front of my face. Hi everybody. I am trying to definitely paste a comment. Oh, there you go. Hiya. Post. We're live to talk about Asian mental health. That is my song. That is my whole song, and I like it. Welcome back and hello. It's freaking hot today, man. And I'm gonna be in my office this whole time streaming until maybe like 8. So that's gonna be fun. Again, welcome back. We are doing Asian mental health talks. Inspired topics from my Golden Goddess Affirmations. They are affirmation cards I made to celebrate and empower Asian women. We have 7 days left on our Kickstarter. So if you please want to help out and support the project, I pinned the link right there in the comments. So if you have the means to, please help. Every dollar counts. And if you don't have the means to help, or even if you do, you could also just share the Kickstarter link, or you can point people towards this live show on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And so they can learn about it. And then if they want to support it, then they can. Yeah. Today, the affirmation that we are talking about is, just in case you didn't see it on my Instagram post, I lift up the women and girls around me. We are just like each other. We all want the joy that comes with being who we really are. I will read it one more time. I lift up the women and girls around me. We are like each other. We are just like each other. We all want the joy that comes with being who we really are. In short, we are all Mulan. Just kidding. But really kind of, we're all asking and wondering when we will show who we are inside. No, but really, okay, let's go back and talk some history. So, history of the cards, actually. So, one of the reasons why I made these cards is because the topic of othering other women and other girls really came to my mind at the end of 2020. It's just one of the things that kept coming up, showing up on like social media for me, or just like on the shows I watched, and also like in my mind, the thought of, when I grew up, and I think I talked about this before, when I was young, I thought my favorite color was pink because everything I had was pink. When I realized it wasn't, and it was just like the color that my parents had made me wear and decorate my room with, I was like, blue. Because I wasn't just like other girls. I wasn't like other girls. And that's actually a theme that played out throughout my life, was thinking that I'm not like other girls. I'm not like other girls, and that saying gets thrown out a lot. On TV and movies and whatever. And yeah, usually, and if not always, it's like meant derogatorily in a derogative way against other girls. So basically girls in general. And so when I realized that was happening, like I hated it, especially because when you think about that phrase, not like other girls, a lot of the times you hear it is like guys saying like, oh, she's not like other girls. So it was like a good thing for us, but it's not a good thing. Like, it's cool when someone thinks you're special, but I don't know. It just, I feel like it fed into the whole like women competing thing. We had to be different. We had to be not like the other ones or the best one. So the othering of women is something that I'm very sensitive to now, and something that like I really want to change because it was so established in my mind that it was good to be different than other girls since I was young. So yeah, that's why I made this. I made the cards like because I wanted to empower other women and relate to them and validate their experiences, hopefully by sharing mine. And I do, first sentence, I lift up the women and girls around me. That is something that's really important to me. Being a woman is really hard, and there are so many intersections also with being an Asian American woman, but even just being a woman in general and having to deal with the othering of women, having to deal with this sense of having to compete with each other, whether or not it's to be someone's wife or someone's girlfriend or the only female CEO, because there can only be like one of those, right? You know, I don't want that, and I don't want that to be how I see things in life. I want to see other women succeed and think of that as inspiration for me to also succeed, right? If I see another person selling affirmation cards for Asian women, I'm going to be like, hey, because like representation is important. Like it's not, in my mind, it's not important that like I be the only one and the best in making money. What's important to me is that Asians are being represented in the mental health space so that we can help destigmatize mental health for all the Asians, right? For all the people, for all the women, for everyone. That's really what matters. And, you know, having the abundance mindset and the mindset that, no, I don't have to compete with other women. Some people are really going to relate to someone else and their personality and how they sell their cards. And some people are going to relate to me and how I speak and how I write. And that's cool. You know, like someone gave me this example. I think it was one of my roommates or my boyfriend, someone who lives with me or maybe none. But I think it's someone who lives with me. The notion that, you know, there are a million burger places. If there can be a million successful burger places, then there can be, you know, a million different Asian women selling affirmation cards for other Asian women. Like, why not? And again, like, it's good, right? The whole goal is to break the stigma. So when I see other women and other girls, like, I want to erase, I think, that feeling that like grew within me for years and stuff, like, you know, the competing with other women, especially actually for me, the comparing myself to other women and comparing us to each other. Like, I don't want that to be my focus. I want to be motivated by other women. I want to be inspired. I want to relate to, I want to connect. I want to validate. Like, that's how I want to live my life as an adult woman. The next line, we are just like each other. That was a direct line to go against I'm not like other girls. I am like other girls. I am like other women. Like, I do face the complexities of being a woman. I face the complexities of being an Asian woman and having the stereotypes of being a meek, submissive little Asian or being a dragon lady that both have sexual connotations to it. You know, that's also in my life. I also feel that just like they do. Those things come into my life. Like, we are just like each other. And then the last line, we all want the joy that comes with being who we really are. That is really what we want. That's why not we all, you know, that's very monolithic of me to say. By the way, my window is open, so if we start hearing my roommates screaming through their windows or my neighbors, I'll just shut it for a second. But hopefully that doesn't happen and it's not too bad. But yeah, we all, that's why I was like, we're all Mulan. We are at least all that song, right? Again, not to make us monoliths, but like, a lot of us really relate to that sentiment. Like, when am I actually able to be who I am? When will this mirror show like the actual things that I feel about myself? When will it reflect? When will my reflection actually reflect who the crap I am? It's sad, right? Like all of that, like that's something that we struggle with. And so, yes, I lift up women and girls around me. We are just like each other. We all want the joy that comes with being who we really are. That is what we really want. And that's the thing. Like, those are the things that I want to focus on and connect to. That, that basically, this kind of makes me sad that I have to put it in this way, but it's true. Like, I want to humanize women, like in my mind, and other people to humanize other women instead of seeing them like as a threat, as someone to compare themselves to, that they actually look at this other woman and we're just like, that's a person. That's another woman with a whole life, with all her goals and dreams, with all her struggles, with all her traumas. Like, that is another woman. And I don't know everything about that, but I know some of that struggle. I know some of those traumas. I know some of those joys. So I want to empathize. I want to celebrate. I want that. Instead of all the other bull crap, man. Freaking capitalism. I'm not a fan of capitalism. I think that is actually one of the things that like really heavily pits women against each other. Like, this has actually been like reality TV has been on the rise for a really long time, right? Like, it's not new anymore. This isn't the early 2000s or like the early 90s. Like, we know reality TV, and I know that a lot of reality TV, it like pits women against each other, like The Bachelor, right? Like, that's super popular, but it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm tired of the narrative, and it's just like The Bachelor is actually like one of the worst things in my head, because it's like pits women against other women, specifically for a man. So that's really not my favorite concept. Yeah, it's not my favorite concept for women to be and be representing in. It's just not. And a lot of people like it. A lot of people can relate to it. I understand. There are just, yeah, I don't relate to it. I don't like it. I think that show really does represent a lot of the othering of other girls and really trying to compete and compare. And really, I just want to celebrate all the women, right? And love is hard. Like, that's like another topic, but like love is hard, and we all deserve love. Oh man, I can just like, okay, we're just not going to talk about love in women right now, because that's going to be a whole other topic. I want to talk about is loving each other and how important that is, because it is important, and it's important to really acknowledge each other, and again, really not compare or have this scarcity mindset. But yeah, just really celebrate each other. Like, I'm not like a big like hashtag girl boss kind of person, but like, yeah, I'm down. Sometimes I use that hashtag. Really, if anything, I call like, like women boss a lot, and like a bad beep, like beep, a bad beep, beep. Bad butt lady. I say that a lot to a lot of women. Oh, there's a plane. So sorry if you can't hear me. It's passing by. But I really do like the sentiment of those things, right? And there's like a reason why those hashtags and stuff exist. Because we want to find each other. We want to celebrate each other. We want to be represented for who we are and all our glories and all our struggles. And that is really important. And I don't know. It's like, I feel like it shouldn't be like a big hope that I have that like this othering of women will like go away, but it's like hard, because again, it's something that we kind of fall into when we're young. And that is one of the reasons why I think being a parent is a very big, serious job. Because, like when I think about like, if I have a daughter and that's what happens, I want to really focus in on that, on not like the othering, like, like seeing people for who they are and how, though, yes, sweetie, like you are special, but so are they. Your life is precious. Their life is precious. You don't have to compare. Life is just precious, right? Or you don't have to compete. You don't have to compete for some boy. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be that way. I don't know. That's me. And I really also want to focus on like, yeah, like be who you are, whatever that is, right? You don't have to like other yourself either. Like, and it's okay also to like try on different things, or it's okay to be multifaceted. That's actually one of the things, like as I've gotten older, to help myself reconcile with like the whole like, I'm not like other girls thing. You know, like I'm not super prissy, I'm not girly, I'm not like, one of the ways that I've dealt with that is just to like, one, realizing that I am, and then being able to like wear different things and have my hair in different ways. Like I'm bald on this half and I have an undercut, and then I have really long hair. And honestly, I think that's something that I'm going to keep. Adrian's here at my house. Lily's barking at him. That's one of the things I'm probably going to keep from my hair for a long time, because I really like that like I can have masculine and feminine traits, and that's all okay. You know, I can be girly. That was really actually hard for me to accept, that I could be girly and that was okay. And like I had a really hard time with it, because I remember being like in high school and like wanting to I also dress that way, where like sometimes I would wear Spider-Man shoes for little boys because my feet were tiny. So Spider-Man shoes and like cargo shorts and a Spider-Man shirt, and sometimes I'd be in a dress and heels, like little heels and stuff, because I knew I was both. But like even while I was doing that, I just didn't know how to accept it within myself. And when I dressed really girly, it had to be like an exaggeration of like girly. Like I had to have makeup, like I had to have like my makeup look like a certain exaggerated way, because girly meant one look. Like it was very like black and white still, because I just couldn't I couldn't reconcile with like being a girl, basically, and that it's okay to be like a spectrum of anything and show and just be like a person within that. And being girly can mean a lot of different things, and I can be this whole part of the spectrum that I want, right? That was really hard for me to accept. Like it was just either like I look like a little boy right now, or I'm a super girl. And so as I've gotten older, it's been really nice to like find my own like femininity and how I define that, and also like my own masculinity and how I define that. And like that's really important. And I want, if I have hopes for things, like if that's, I hope that young girls can understand that like sooner and not have to feel so weird about being a girl, especially when we do have those societal pressures, and we do have that innate treatment of like, because this is part of it. I wanted to be more like a boy because boys were thought of as strong. Girls were thought of as weak. And I was like, I'm not weak, so I must identify more like a boy. Like, and that's not even like in regards to sexuality, that's a whole other conversation, but like, having more masculine traits like is a good thing. Like it was really hard. And again, like this is something that like a lot of us girls, I feel like, can relate to, like wanting to be quote unquote feminine, wanting to be quote unquote girly, but also feeling awkward about it, because I feel like those definitions mean look a very specific way, but that's not what it meant. And then, and then that leads to like comparing yourself to other girls and competing with other girls, not feeling good about yourself, other girls, or making other girls feel bad because you don't know how to feel about yourself. Like it's not a very great way to live. I guess maybe it's like a toxic way to live, which is not great. So it's really important. It's really important to me. These cards are really important to me. Like they really do in my head embody like fighting that fighting all of that, fighting all the expectations that are put on us when we were young of what it is to be a girl, and how it's all okay that we each get to define that, but again can relate because we all just want to be ourselves. And I think this is where I'm going to end today. So I'm going to read the card one more time. I lift up the women and girls around me. We are just like each other. We all want the joy that comes with being who we really are. So we are like each other. Thank you guys for being here. There are 7 days left in my Kickstarter. So if you really want to support me with these cards and having them printed, help pay for them getting made, because I am a single person. I'm not a Target. I'm a very local business, very local, very small business. So if you can support me, I would really appreciate that. Again, they really do mean a lot to me. And thank you for being here and listening. Thank you for being open. Thank you for accepting me for who I am if you're watching this whole thing, because like I'm ranty. I'm ranty. This is just like who I am. This is my personality. So I'm glad that you guys enjoy it because it's not changing. But yeah, those are my cards. Please contribute if you can. And if you can't, thank you for being here. I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Join me in, oh my gosh, like in 8 minutes, I'm going to actually be on Clubhouse. If you go to SoCal Filipinos, we're talking about Filipino representation in mental health. And I'm talking with my friend Adrian Pangilinan, and we're also actually going to talk about my cards. So if you want to join us for that, that happens in 8 minutes. And I'll see you there, hopefully. And if not, then maybe tomorrow. And if not, keep having a good day. Okay, bye-bye.